shows prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting.
Things are being thrown. There's no room for this in the sport. There's no room for the Davis brothers to be in the building tonight. The police escorted them out. You saw a stroller being moved.
Hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch.
Things got heated backstage as GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach faced off again. Lamont stayed calm, tuning out Davis's trash talk. He stayed focused on the fight, trusting his hands would do the talking, and believes he'll walk out with the victory.
The outside critics, I know what I can do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out, give it my all, and perform, and most likely, 9 times out of 10, when I do that, I'll be victorious.
Lamont Roach downplayed the claim that GervontaDavis is the hardest hitter he's faced. Roach says he's been hit harder by others and Davis's power doesn't bother him. He stays cool, showing he's tough and experienced enough to not get rattled by noise.
I think the hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I gotta do that. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He off.
In their first bout, Davis slipped and took a knee, sparking confusion and changing how folks viewed him. Roach's efforts boosted his own image, making him the first to truly test Davis. Now, some think Roach might take over and shock fans in the rematch.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted in the fight.
That wasn't the same GervontaDavis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like the governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he said, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids and I had the same thing. I went through the same shit. When I fought Andre, that shit was burning my eyes, so I cut that shit off.
New footage shows a sharper version of Davis lean, focused, and mean. He looks ready, and his bold posts suggest he's serious about dominating. Fans sense a strong comeback. Roy Jones Jr. praised Davis's strength and skill, but admits anything can happen. Many feel Davis wasn't himself in the first fight, maybe distracted or using the wrong plan. Now, with his pride bruised, Davis looks set on showing his best. His work in camp and his words show he wants more than revenge's out to prove a point.
Saturday night, GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach, but we kind of haven't seen him a lot. So he gets to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first few rounds. But when the pro round takes over, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet, or is Tank too superior as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in at. You got a good back foot game like that, and you understand boxing like he understands it, he gonna make it rough for anybody. But Tank is a different animal too. So it's a great fight, that's why everybody wanna see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win, oh, he gonna win.
Roach's focus this time isn't just on winning, he wants a stoppage. His intense sessions suggests he wants to prove a point. A big win over Davis could change his path in the sport and build a legacy based on willpower, focus, and natural boxing skill.
So breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown, but ultimately it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means, and that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it to Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around, but Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
They got me off guard, Roach said, showing strong faith in his prep. He says he's got every tool to win. His words aren't bragging, they show the confidence of someone who's worked hard. He believes he can handle anything Davis does on fight night.
That you sent him to retirement earlier.
My initial plan is to win, but every time I fight, I'm trying to knock somebody out. So, so you know, if that happens in the midst of it, you know, that'd be a blessing. That'd be definitely something that I work for, because I work my ass off. But if he on his way out, well, why not kick his ass out? It does in a sense, but yeah, it do for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I like to prove people wrong, and I damn sure like to prove myself right. So it definitely gives me an incentive. And like I said before, I've been before. The Hector fight, they had me duck. Right now, they really got me. They really got me.
Trainer Greg Hackett says the pressure's equal for both fighters. He feels it'll come down to clean timing and sharp execution. He especially warned Davis to stay smart and fully focus this fight, won't allow mistakes or lazy decisions in the ring.
Beat 30 people, knocked out, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. I probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much.
Mikey Garcia gave his view, saying Davis adjusts well and learns from past bouts, but he warned that without mental clarity, no tactics will help. His point was clear: if Davis isn't locked in upstairs, then it's almost like he never showed up at all.
Rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, you know, training with this person, training with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they're very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't that that night. Lamont wasn't having it, and he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all trip. Y'all must be really like trip. So I guess we was trip.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused. Because if he's not the most focused, then he gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night. And you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for. And he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Who you picking to win?
Coach Kenny Ellis respects Roach's grind, but says don't trust workout clips too much. He thinks the real test comes in the ring when fists fly and bodies tire. To him, Davis's inner drive and mental strength matter more than training highlights online.
And hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and then he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. I'm surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, and maybe they get a third fight, after that. Who knows?
Maybe it turns out
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup and they say, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think
the edge.
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is, like, if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. And if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, you know, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're,
there's like a lot of fighters
if you're
going through stuff and they get in the
if you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's a helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him, fucking do it. Let him do it. I don't know. Dude.
Another loss could damage GervontaDavis's future and public image. One defeat can be brushed off, but two might change how people view his greatness. Doubts could grow. For Davis, this fight is deeper than revengeance about saving his boxing name.
To be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know what, let's run it back. And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or, you know, you never know. So, hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight, shit, he'll get a 3rd fight.
Right.
You know?
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his like mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that?
In the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're,
there's like a lot of fighters
if you're
going through stuff and they get in the
if you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's a helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him, fucking do it. Let him do it. I don't know. Dude, I had personal stuff. A lot of fighters have life issues. It's life, bro. This is our job, but their life keeps going. Life continues. You have to
juggle this with life.
You have to juggle. You have to balance, and it's tough, bro. It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. You gotta be dealing with family, with kids, with wives, with girlfriends.
Crazy that I always see the same stories.
Coach Ellis teased some hidden changes in Davis's camp that might shift his whole game. The details are unknown, but fans are buzzing about it. Whatever's happening behind closed doors, Davis's team thinks it'll help make this fight a modern classic.
Is the rematch happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. Well, they put up a good fight, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half, so what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though, because you just see so much demolishment from one, and then for it to flip to the other, and it just had your mind like, what? It's really had your mind blown, like what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision on the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely went off of just their personal opinion of the person, their history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank, if I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. You know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that it's a flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit, all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him, as ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. And I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this shit.
Rolando Romero stood up for Davis, saying every champ has bad nights. He said one rough outing doesn't erase all of Davis's wins. To Romero, Davis is still elite respected and feared in the game no matter what the critics or fans might be saying.
What do you see? Both, like I said, they both at, top of the game. I see a competitive fight. Nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight, Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Teofimo Lopez said after fight 1, Davis seemed left out, with few having his back. That silence sparked out about Davis still being top level. Critics attacked him. Lopez says this rematch is Bigorit's. Davis's shot to prove doubters all wrong.
That people want to discredit thing is he's still a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night and it was screwed. Everyone has a nice boxing.
Want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
Sean Porter praised Davis's skill and smart mind in the ring. He talked about how Davis reads opponents well and blends thought with power. Despite the shade, Porter says Davis is still top class. He warned fans not to count him out just yet.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm gonna talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
GervontaDavis is now fully focused and putting in major work to reclaim his spot. He's training with firepower, speed, and smarter plans to fix old errors. He's not just trying to win, he wants to silence doubters and prove he's still elite today.
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That kind of what he just said, you can put them earmuffs up and go at it. Mm-hmm. He kind of will assess you as well, and whatever he needs to do, he'll do it, you know, so.
Right. Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They say it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident because you go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he go in there confident thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's go fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's going to get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. Confident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont. This from the same camp. We from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up. Because you got to think, Tank not used to losing